Laughing Brook. Poetry for sensual consciousness. Between a rock and a hard place, there the stream of life flows, all none the less. Towards the night. Towards the night, the darkness, the black, the ultimate ending, grave's blackness, the desperate void. Towards the night, the dance in the clearing, a forest of dark. Cold is the moonlight, licking old blood. As I dance, so silent, so lonesome, forsaking all day, all hopes, all sorrows, all I wanted to be, all dreams, and all me. Earth's wetness and coolness welcomes me in. Come back whence you came from. Let go. Give in. Breathe out. Breathe out. Unbecome. Towards the night. Towards the night. Towards the light. The dark holds a secret. The pursuit of happiness, as it is stated so nicely in the American Constitution, is something that is inherently human. We all want to live a good life, not a hard one. One in which we prosper, not one in which we suffer. In that way, just like plants, we're all craving for our spot in the sunlight. And yet there are a lot of good reasons to sometimes say no to something I'm drawn to directly walk towards suffering, towards foregoing something I crave for, to accept a loss. Does that sound weird or masochistic? Well, the curious thing is that very often we feel that suffering is very normal for some things, or that it's not even suffering at all. For example, going to the dentist and having my tooth drilled. Or torturing myself through push-ups. Not getting that really nice jacket I see in the shop window. I do accept all this suffering because I gain something that, for me, has a value which outweighs my suffering. Healthy teeth, strong muscles, and a good physique. A balanced bank account. Sometimes, though, people take on a suffering that feels so immense that we may question their motives. From what I can see, it takes a great amount of consciousness and heart to walk with open eyes into suffering. A lot of people will probably say it's a crazy thing to do. They may have said that to Nelson Mandela or Alexei Navalny. Mahatma Gandhi faced fierce resistance against the path he chose and has been called stupid. And even in the Bible, you find Jesus' closest friends rebuking and resisting him when he lets them in on his plan to go to Jerusalem to die. They all did anyway and made history by doing so. What they achieved was way beyond them. And yet it is inextricably connected with their brave conviction with which they put everything on the line. They said no, even to their own lives. In verse 41 of the Tao Te Ching, the ancient Chinese sage Laozi describes following the sometimes very enigmatic call towards a higher principle, to put it in most abstract terms, like following darkness. It looks like bad luck, like becoming a loser, to follow through. Yet, it is not. It is an awareness of a higher principle, a higher way of being. And that is the very power of why seemingly self-destructive paths can change the world. For those moments of darkness, of staring into the abyss, are at the core of creation and creativity. You will encounter them in creative processes, in group-building processes, inescapably in personal development of any kind, in all kinds of learning where you push a boundary. It is what John of the Cross has named the dark night of the soul. If you're interested to dive deeper, no pun intended, or do I, into the subject, listen to the episode called New Moon, which describes this process of going through the dark. And there's another episode, Through That Darkest Door, that looks at it in a more overarching perspective. Those moments seem to teach and show us that despite all our clinging are at the core of how the world goes round. Yet there is this moment when you turn towards the dark, whichever form it may take in a given situation, with some sort of death waiting for you. And often it's not clear what this some sort really means, not even when going to the dentist. There is this peculiar, lonely moment of making that step, of following through on your conviction and decision, and then turning towards necessary evil and suffering, or even death. It's a floor drops out from underneath me moment, a pee my pants moment, a hold my breath moment. It's the moment of my greatest weakness and vulnerability. And it is the moment of my greatest strength and of irrevocable power. It is the moment of truth. ultimate ending. Gray's blackness. The desperate void. Towards the night. The dance in the clearing. Of forests so dark. As I dance, so silent, so lonesome, forsaking all day. All hopes, all sorrows, all I wanted to be, all dreams, and all more. Earth's wetness and coolness welcomes me in. Come back whence you came from. Let go. Give in. Breathe out. Unbecome. Towards the night. Towards the night. Towards the night. Towards the light. So we ventured into the gloomy today. But never forget, there's a light shining in the darkness that may seem pale and weak, but actually leads to the end of the tunnel. If you care, I wrote a poem about this tiny light, of which I'm very proud. It's one of my favorites. It's called Light So Small, and is the second episode of this podcast. You'll find it on laughingbrook.net. For this episode, I want to say thank you to Michael Mondenschein for helping me to sample some of his wonderful sound devices. You'll hear gongs, an empty electrical tube, and a water phone. Also, the basic synth sound of the remix has been created by Caitlin Aurelia Smith, a composer and musician somewhere on the very curious edge between synthesizers and the organic. You'll find links in the show notes. Native Instrument had sent me a link recently with an article about her. It also had a competition to hand in a piece that has been done with the sound she created for the Massive X synthesizer. That got me going, and today's poem almost jumped at me to combine it with Caitlin's sound. As I finally tried to hand it in, though, I learned that the competition was in 2020. Duh. Alas, it was the very creative spark that brought you not only the remix of this episode, but in a way, the whole episode. I had this poem sitting around for a long time, not knowing how to go about it. And voila, here it is. So, this one is dedicated to you, Caitlin. As always, you're invited to comment. I love to hear your comments. And to tell a friend about it. Leave a rating as a thank you. My name is Laughing Brook. I am a poet, a dancer, mystic, nature coach, and man whisperer. And until that next one, keep on bumping and jumping with the stream of life.